President to the deputy to the speaker should be thoroughly ashamed of themselves. It is unfortunate that in a democracy, Nigeria is being managed today by one of the most unproductive and dangerous assemblies of parliaments in the history of parliament. If Senator Akpabio is saying people are misunderstanding and that they are sticking to 2022 Electoral Act, so what was the need for an amendment? The most important aspect of that bill was the mandatory use of electronic technology in the transmission of results, which, by the way, is an INEC-owned resolution. The outgone INEC chairman wrote the INEC position paper 21 on the use of electronic technology to reduce human interference, because the shrine of INEC or election rigging is in coalition centers. And today, after 2 years of considerations, the Senate ended up. Why? Because it is clear that the current government is waging a war on democracy and the electoral process. And now everything is beginning to make sense and link up, because you can now see the reason for the defections. If you have a system that, because Section 60 subsection 5 clearly talks about the presiding officer will transmit election results in a way and manner as prescribed by INEC. Now the question was, did INEC prescribe the way? Yes. Paragraph 38, 39 of the INEC guidelines clearly talks about electronic transmission of results. But in court, the judge said, since it was not an omission to the act, they could not hold INEC accountable, even when their guidelines is a sub-law of a main law. Now, what citizens were demanding was simple. Take what is on the INEC guidelines, let it be represented on the Electoral Act, and amend the relevant section of the Constitution, and then you begin to see this mischief. Because all the way, they have never wanted to carry out electronic transmission of results, because it is going to foreclose election rigging. So when you have about 31 governors in the ruling party standing on the mandate which they shall collapse, and you make manual an option to INEC, it becomes easier for you to suppress the votes, because what you need is political gladiators to ensure that you are able to write results, you are able to alter them where you are going to alter. Because let me be very clear, the APC knows that if there are free and fair elections in Nigeria today, before 1 o'clock on election day, President Tinubu will not only lose body loan polling units in his house in Ikoyi, he will lose in Alausa, he will lose the Aso polling units. So everything that is being done is ensured to be done that elections are not free and fair. It is now up to Nigerians to leave the talking and begin action. Opposition, CSOs, Nigerian youth, we must march to the National Assembly and make our voices heard. Let the world know that there is assault on our democratic process, and that in 2027, anything short of a free and fair election will not be accepted by Nigerians. If I have the list of all the members here, so you do not even need to go far. The chairman of that committee is Senator Lalong, the vice chairman is Senator Musaya Radua from Katsina. We have all the Senator Seraki Dixon, Senator Adams Oshomole, unfortunately has been very busy in a private jet now, and you know, engaging in certain actions and all of that. So the Senate president cannot insult the intelligence of Nigerians. It is deliberate. There have been information that they do not want this electronic transmission of results to be mandatory, and it is all part of the same game to ensure that you drag it up till this point. Because let us talk about it. Elections are in February, likely in February next year. We are almost late on even having an amended electoral act to be signed into law.
Push for a long time. You've been at the forefront.
Yes.
I mean, that's...
As a people, we must ask ourselves the question: the power of the people and the criminals in power, who is stronger? APC does not have 31 states as it is being claimed. They have 31 governors. But unfortunately, our system is such that it is strong men who control it and not the votes of the people or the institutions working independently. So the entirety of victims of this rudderless kind of leadership, this renewed hopelessness, renewed hunger, renewed terrorism, renewed banditry, renewed criminality in government, we have never seen anything like this. We thought Buhari was bad governance. We did not know that there was a phase 2 that could be this terrible. So for us as a people, it is not sitting in it